Ida for telling my son he needs to live with the consequences of ignoring what his children were saying? My son lost his first wife when their two children were preschoolers. My grandson is now 17 and my granddaughter is almost 16. Their relationship with my son has been on a downward spiral for years. It started when he and his current wife moved in together. She had two kids of her own and early on they showed extreme jealousy whenever their mom would pay any attention or buy anything for my grandkids. They were older, teenagers, and said a number of cruel things to my grandkids. My grandkids told my son, they told my wife and we spoke to our son, but he ignored all four of us. My wife also spoke to my son's second wife, prior to the wedding, and she said her kids would adjust in time. My grandkids spent years living with too much older kids who told them they deserved to have a dead mom and that she had wanted to die because nobody would want them around. They accused them of stealing from them because their mom shouldn't be doing anything for them. There were incidents where they broke the stuff their mom bought my grandkids. My wife and I pleaded with our son to do something to help his kids. We said they didn't deserve to be raised like that. The problems continued even after the older kids moved out. They still expressed a lot of jealousy and hatred for my grandkids. I never interacted much with my son's stepkids. I saw them a handful of times in the years my son has been married to his current wife. They would mostly go to their dad if my son and his wife were spending time with us or any of our other kids. Or they would reject offers to spend time with us. But the few times I did see them I was always shocked by how blatant their hate of my grandkids was and how my son never appeared to care. One incident in particular stands out. It was my granddaughter's birthday and she got some art kit she had wanted. It set off the two older kids who called her a witch baby and they even broke part of the kit. My wife and I spoke up to our son and his wife but they did nothing and said nothing. My grandkids now spend a lot of time with myself and my wife. They hardly speak to their dad despite living under his roof. They wanted us to get custody of them but we were denied. So they have taken to doing their best to make it through the next year, 2 years. My son is only now starting to care that the relationship with his kids has been destroyed. He asked me why we tried to fight for custody of the kids when he's their dad and he accused my wife and I of turning the kids against him. This is when I stopped him and I said we didn't turn them against him. He is just living with the consequences of ignoring what his kids were telling him. I told him he put them through years of bullying so he could marry and stay married and now he has to live with his decision. My son ranted at me and said the last thing any parent should do is try to make their kid feel shitty about themselves, which is what I was doing. Aita?